Okay, so we're talking about the chord progression to Salty Dog Blues and basically playing over chord changes here. So if you take this chord progression that's going to be like this, G down to E, A, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4. So the first step is kind of to get that timing in your brain and just to play in your blocky shapes, just grabbing those chords at first in your blocky shapes. G, E, A, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, and 4, and G. So what you see is the change coming from a G chord to an E chord is pretty quick. You know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So each one kind of takes up 2 beats, let's say. But when you're on A, that holds on that chord a lot longer. So kind of some different ideas that you could do with that is as you're on that A chord, I like to play, put blues into everything. So you've got this A chord, you can think of your X shape, your this kind of second fret to open, really. And on your D strings, you can have that chromatic, any of those, any of that, 2, 1 to 0. And then always know that minor third to major third, that kind of a. Just anything you want to do kind of bluesy that way. But also the other shape that we were talking about is going. So you got that A, and then you've got this kind of extended minor pentatonic, which ends up being, let's say in the key of A, you've got that 7th fret first string to 5th fret first string, and then you're on your 2nd string, 5th fret, 3rd fret, then you go down to your 3rd string, 5th fret, and then you go down to your 4th string, 7th fret. Now you could keep extending that down. But it's good to know kind of what those notes are out of your chord. There's the 5th of that A chord. There's the flat 7, so it sounds neat to. Knowing that 5th. There's the 5th, flat 5 or blue note, 4, and then let's say minor third to major third to root note, all in that A. Why is that neat? Because when you are going from an A chord grip to a D chord grip, that pattern kind of connects you to that chord. Right, so you kind of got that that long pattern. Now, what I like to think of, kind of just how you've got that movable X shape that I always talk about. This has this long diagonal line here where you got 3rd fret 2nd string, 5th fret 3rd string, 7th fret 4th string. Right? So now if you keep extending that out, here's your root note. You've got that minor third, that bluesy, that thirds, is the thirds, minor third, major third, the 9th, all those 3 notes. They all work nice, kind of, depending on how bluesy you want to get. If you want to be more bluesy sounding, slide into the minor third. If you want to be more major sounding, slide into the major third. Now, the other things that we were talking about is if you want to sound more traditional, kind of bluegrassy, you can use parallel 6th, and that's going to be these kind of walk-ups, walk-downs. And that's on your 5th and 3rd string, and then going up to your 4th and 2nd string. Right? And then and then we've got your parallel thirds, and that's more on your 1st and 2nd string. and second and third string. And that kind of gives you that more. You know, but you can kind of focus each grip kind of and think to yourself, do I want to do the third sounds and grabbing double stops on your third and second or second and first? You know, and you can go from each chord shape. Or do I want to do the sixth sounds? Fifth string, third string. Or combine them. You know, that gives you lots of different options, combining them. The other thing is doing more. You know, and then what I was doing there is I was going G, and then instead of going down to my E chord here, I just went up to this E note, you know, because really you've got that long diagonal kind of pentatonic thing there over your E chord too, but you think, where's my root note? So we got G, there's the note E, and that can totally work over that E chord because it's such a quick G down to E, and then it goes quickly to A. So when you're going G to E, let's say, and then you drop your bar down, you're right to A, right? Well, the neat thing with that is too, you're going from an A to a D chord. Well, here's the note E, here's the note F and F sharp. Well, there's your ninth flat third major third of the D note, which D note is on that first string, 12th fret, and that can work for D. So you got everything right under your bar here, way up high. G, up to E, lay your bar flat, down to A, D. And all that I did there was that minor third to major third, root note D, and then flat 7. You got that long or minor third to major third of D there, resolving to G. So the other thing that we kind of talked about was knowing where your thirds are to your roots of each chord all over the neck. So it's nice, you know, to start with your blocky patterns at first. Or sorry, G to E, A, D. You know, that kind of a thing. But what's neat is to know, okay, here's G, and slow everything way down. Well, where is that minor third to major third kind of thing all over the neck? Well, you got it here, got it here, got it here, got it here, got it here. So then you kind of can do that for all your chords too. You know, A chord, or sorry, E chord would be the next chord. But once you do it for one chord, kind of remember what the shapes are for that. You know, how that, you know, there's your long diagonal line shape, minor pentatonic. You got that third right there within that long, on that third string, right? So when you go to A, here's your long diagonal shape. And there's that. You got D, E, so there's some kind of basic ideas to playing over that chord change, and keep in mind the numbers too. It's a 1 to a 6 chord, 2, 3, go to your 5 chord. anyways, just some, and then trying to connect those different patterns over all those chords. It's a fun tune. Okay.